What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to give you guys a quick market update as Bitcoin has absolutely gotten a move to the upside, finally breaking out of that sideways range that we've been trading in for like over 20 days. It was getting unbearably boring. We were just waiting for that break above or below that range to finally get some exciting price action. So guys, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about how we got here, some of the warning signs that we saw that was indicating that we may get this move up, because if you guys remember last week, there were bearish signals on the higher time frames, and the indicators were giving us tons of mixed signals. So we shifted our focus to key levels and also looking at other things such as CVD to give us an idea of if we were actually going to get this move up or if we were first going to get a pullback. And at the end of the video, guys, I do want to take a look at those next price targets to the upside for Bitcoin if this pump can continue. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the chart, check out those key levels, see how we got here, and then check out those next price targets to the upside. Let's get into it. So guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart. Now, obviously, you can see this was our little sideways range that we were trading in for which I believe was about 20 days, 22 days, guys, creeping up on a month going sideways. It was getting pretty boring. But as you guys know, we did have somewhat of bullish consolidation here. We were making higher lows as we were approaching this flat level of resistance. Now, this is what's considered an ascending triangle, which is a bullish continuation pattern. However, if you guys remember, when we were looking at the higher daily time frames for Bitcoin, you can see that we were getting bearish divergences on these higher daily time frames. Now, obviously, guys, the higher daily time frames do take a lot of time to play out. But last week, the debacle we were in was, are we going to see these higher time frames play out, or are we going to get a squeeze to the upside first? Now, while we were trying to figure that out, guys, and as the indicators were giving us absolute mixed signals, which is just a reality of trading sometimes. Sometimes you're at a point in the market where things are indecisive. The bulls and the bears are just fighting each other, heads against horns there. And, the indicators give you mixed signals, and it's really hard to figure out which way price is going to go. So basically what we did there, guys, was we took a look at the key levels. We had this door to 30K, not 305. We had this door to 30K right here, and we were saying, if we were able to break above this level, that would be my indication that we were going to get a big move to the upside or get that squeeze up to higher prices, and more specifically 30K, because as you guys know, that 30K level was coming in at our previous point of control from this old range that we were trading in back in May of 2022. So that is basically how we were able to get around the murkiness that the indicators were giving us. So again, we knew that if we were able to decisively break this door to 30K, knowing that it was the previous value area low of that old range that we traded in, that we just looked at from back here in May, we knew if we were able to get above that value area low, it would be very likely that we would get a move up to that point of control coming in at about, 30,000, between about, 30,000, 30,150. We knew that if we held that value area low, we would get that move up just based off the laws of how the volume profile worked. We were able to make that prediction, and you can even see here every time you get support on your value area low, you do come up to that POC/golden pocket right here, but then you come back down to the value area low, right back up to that POC, get a rip up to the golden pocket, back to the low, back to the POC, back to the low, above the POC, but then you flip it to support. So you can just see, once as long as you're holding support above that value area low, it is likely that you at least get a move up to your POC, and that's just the laws of the volume profile, and we talk about that all the time on the channel, guys. So I know that's probably not a shock to a lot of you guys watching right now, but that's how we were able to clear up those mixed signals on the indicators. Now, another one of those things we were looking at that was indicating a potential move to the upside was something that I mentioned in my market update on Tuesday last week, and that was the potential for a short squeeze to come up very, very soon. And the way we were able to spot that was to come over here to coinalyze.net and take a look at the CVD. Now, I'm not going to get too much into what the CVD actually is, but essentially in that market update on Tuesday, guys, what we were seeing here was the futures CVD coming to the downside, indicating that more people were shorting than longing. And what did we have on our spot CVD? We had an uptrend indicating that people were buying Bitcoin on spot, or just, buying Bitcoin and holding it without leverage, and they're not buying contracts, they're just buying Bitcoin. So we had people actually buying and holding Bitcoin here as we had the futures market just continuing to short into that uptrend, and you could see that the spot market was pushing the price up here, and the futures traders were just shorting into that upwards momentum. And in that market update, we were saying, hey, a lot of times when you have a divergence like this between your futures CVD and your spot CVD, a lot of times that can create a short squeeze, because if the futures traders keep shorting into this up move, they're gonna have to wind up exiting at a loss, creating a bunch of buy orders and creating a big liquidation event. I don't know if I would call this a big liquidation event, but you will just get a bunch of liquidations here. Now, this is on the 4-hour, which I believe is the time frame we were looking at, but this was also forming on things like the 12-hour, which was an even stronger indication that that short squeeze may come. And you could see down here, looking at our liquidations here, or our aggregated liquidations, you can see here that we had 22 million shorts liquidated, 14 million shorts liquidated, and then 43 million shorts liquidated. You could just see that big spike in liquidations causing that big move to the upside. So that was another way we were able to kind of, again, because the indicators were a little bit mixed and confusing. So this is just another tool we were using to try to get a little bit more insight to if we were going to get that break to the upside. Now, let's talk about the next stop for Bitcoin, guys, because things are looking pretty exciting. Now, obviously, you want to remember, the higher time frames are now printing green dots, stepping on those bearish divergences that we're printing. However, we are going to keep an eye on this, because even if we come up a little bit here and print another red dot, we will still have bearish divergence. But more locally, with these green dots printing, if these confirm, I do think we can continue to see a little bit more upside in the short term. And the major targets I am looking at, guys, again, just looking at this as the previous value area, where we have our value area low, which is the most important level for us to hold as support, which is coming in at about $28,800. This is the value area low. So if we get a cool off, I would love to hold that level as support, and that would indicate if we get hold above that level that we will get more upside. But if we continue to push up without a correction to the downside here, guys, what I would expect from Bitcoin is if we are able to pop above this level here, the previous POC from that old range, and flip that to support, what that will do is open up the door to reach our value area high, which is coming in at about $31,300. Now, not only, guys, are we above that previous value area low from this little range here, which is very bullish because it does open the door to potentially see that value area high at 31.3, but this is more bullish than just that, because not only is that the value area low of that local range, but this is also the level that we were using as support throughout the entire bull market, or the entire top of the bull market, I should say. If we pull a little bit of volume on this entire bull market top here, guys, you can see that that value area low does match up perfectly with that local value area low. But the reason this is so exciting, guys, is because, again, if we get hold above that level, not only does it give us the opportunity to come up to our value area high at 31,300, but it also opens up the opportunity to visit our POC of the more macro range, which is coming in at about 34.5. So just a couple higher targets up there. But again, this level we are flipping to support right now is extremely, extremely important. And guys, we also have a money flow crossover into the green on the daily time frame. Now, you want to remember, nothing goes up forever. We are a little overbought on the daily. No extreme warning signs yet for big moves to the downside, but that money flow crossover into the green would be bullish. But just remember, nothing goes up forever, so always be aware of short-term pullbacks. You can see your 5-hour VWAP coming down. Your 3-hour, your 4-hour is now printing a red dot here. So just be careful for some consolidation or little pullbacks along the way up. But all in all, looking pretty good for Bitcoin, guys. And with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time I got for today's market update. Again, that short squeeze did wind up giving us the move up before we got the move down. But it is really exciting, guys, and really nice that we pulled right up to that key level we gave on the live stream, being that previous point of control at about $30,125, where we're essentially sitting at right now. So let me know in the comments down below, do you think Bitcoin's going to hit that 32K level, or do you think we have a big correction to the downside on the way? And with all that being said, guys, that's all the time I got for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Campbell.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command line.